Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Score, the podcast that I do basically whenever I feel like it. I am Levi Couvert, member of the Coast to Coast Sports team, and today I want to start the show by talking about the Bengals and the 49ers. That game on Sunday proved a couple of things to me. First of all, it proved that Brock Purdy, I might be wrong about Brock Purdy, and I am happy. I am more than happy to admit that I was wrong about Brock Purdy, because I have been saying since about his third game last season that he's a future Tom Brady. He's a future GOAT. Because he was winning everything, he was playing fantastic, he had the same exact build as Brady. Comes out of the Big Ten. From a program that's good, not great. At the time, Michigan wasn't the same when Brady was there. He wasn't winning natties with Michigan. Brock Purdy wasn't winning natties with Iowa. A low draft pick replaces a very good quarterback. Not a legend, but a great quarterback. On a good team with a great coach and a great defense and a bunch of great positional players. That's exactly what Brady had. That is exactly what Purdy had. So I had been saying I think Purdy is going to be the next Tom Brady. Not because I was in love with Brock Purdy's talent, but because I saw the writing on the wall. And as a Seahawks fan, I wanted to assume the worst, because for me, it's better to assume the worst and then be surprised when the worst doesn't happen. And that is what I am right now, because my Brock Purdy winning 4 Super Bowls prediction that I made in the offseason, that's not looking great, and I am more than happy to admit my failure. I am more than happy for this to be one of my worst takes of all time, because I didn't make it as a factual take. It was a take that was rooted in me being a Seattle Seahawks fan. And maybe that was a mistake, but you know what? As a Seahawks fan, I'm ecstatic. Brock Purdy might not be the guy we thought he was. I still think he's a good quarterback, but I think he's around the 20th best in the league right now. This season, he's a top 10 guy, right? Like, this season, he's a top 10 guy. Overall, I think he's about the 20th best. Like, looking at the list of quarterbacks right now, and just, like, being honest with ourselves. Is Brock Purdy, he's not better than Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, right? Aaron Rodgers when he's healthy. There's 6. Dak Prescott, Lamar, Jackson, Tua, Trevor Lawrence. There's 10 guys right there that I guarantee you he's not better than. Kirk Cousins, I'm a huge Kirk Cousins guy. He's not better than Kirk. That's 11. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, there's 12. Jared Goff, 13. Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson's better. He has better stats this season than Brock Purdy does. Russell Wilson, there's 14. Like, is he better than Derek Carr? I don't think so. Derek Carr's 4-4. Purdy's 5-3. So you can't really go off the record anymore. Because Derek Carr, all of a sudden, the Saints are only 1 game behind the Niners. What? Whoa, like, when did this happen? Derek Carr, I don't think he's better than Derek Carr. He's better this season. This season, he's better than Matthew Stafford. Overall, would you rather have Matt Stafford or Brock Purdy? I think most people would still say Matt Stafford. Kyler Murray, we haven't seen Kyler play yet this year. I think Kyler's more talented. Baker Mayfield, even. I mean, Geno Smith, I think Geno's better. Obviously, Geno lost head-to-head twice last year. But, again, like, from a talent perspective, they're pretty close. I mean, Mac Jones, who's putting up good numbers on a bad Patriots team, like, he's about the 20th best in the league. Maybe the 16th. He's an average quarterback. Okay. That's fine. He's in the same category as Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, and Jimmy G. And yeah, like that's just where he is right now. And so, yeah, I'm happy. Are you kidding me? I thought maybe they shouldn't have started him. Maybe they should have played Sam Darnold. Would it have been better? I don't think so, because Joe Burrow's back. Joe Burrow, talking about Joe Burrow for a second. Oh my goodness. That was a great game. You got people saying, well, I don't know. I said to myself, I think Kirk Cousins might be better than Joe Burrow. People are saying Justin Herbert might be better than Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts is catching up. Tua is catching up. Trevor Lawrence. Like, going into the season, it was like Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. That's the top 3. And there's now questions to that top 3 because you had Tua is playing so well. Trevor Lawrence's team, Trevor has been okay. His team's been insane. Lamar Jackson playing like an MVP. Jalen Hurts continuing to play like an MVP. And Kirk Cousins, who I have been saying for a long time, I think is right in that category as well. And Burrow got off to a slow start, and people are saying maybe Tua's better. Maybe Jalen's better. Maybe Kirk's better. Maybe Herbert's better. Maybe Lamar's better. Lamar's not better than Joe Burrow. Tua's great. Tua might win the MVP this year. Tua's not better than Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence, I love him. I love Trevor Lawrence. Biggest Trevor Lawrence fan out there. He's not better than Joe Burrow either. Joe Burrow, right now, and again, like I think Kirk's at the same level as him, but Kirk's out for the season. So right now, Burrow is the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. And he proved that last season when he went to the AFC Championship game. And people will say, well, why isn't he the best quarterback in the NFL? Because they'll say, well, or why isn't he the 2nd best? Because he did beat Josh Allen in the playoffs last year. I understand that. And we're going to see them play head to head this weekend. I still think Josh Allen is better. Statistically, Josh Allen is another beast. And Josh Allen has the physical talent even more than Burrow does. Josh Allen can make throws that Burrow can't make. So I'm not going to say that Burrow is number 2, but I am saying he proved against the 49ers on Sunday that he is still the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. He is not going away anytime soon. Jamar Chase is not going away anytime soon. And the Bengals, they're 4-0 against the NFC West. They swept them. They beat my Seahawks, they beat the Niners, they beat the Cardinals, and they beat the Rams. They're 0-3 against every other division. They're winless against every division that's not the NFC West. I have a feeling that's going to change maybe this week. They play the Bills. That's going to be a really close game. And I'm tempted to pick the Bengals. I think the Bengals might actually be favored. The game is also in Cincinnati. I feel like this is a toss-up game, but in Cincinnati, the Bengals are playing well. I think I like the Bengals to win that. So then the Bengals are going to be 5-3, and you're like, okay, well, where do the Bengals sit? Where do the Bengals sit in the AFC playoff picture? They sit right behind Baltimore. I think the Bengals, and I had them winning the division for a while. I think the Bengals right now, I view them as a potential team to get that top wild card. Excuse me. And in that case, that's going to mean the Bengals. I think the Bengals and Bills both getting wild cards. How about that? I mean, AFC wildcard weekend is going to be incredible. You're going to have the Bengals playing on the road in probably either Arrowhead or in Miami, or maybe in Baltimore or Jacksonville. Any one of those games would be great. And the Bills might be playing on the road in Arrowhead or in Baltimore. And then your 7th seed is going to be either the Browns and that defense, or it's going to be the Steelers and that defense, or it's going to be the Jets and that defense. And it's like, you're going to get, we're going to be, those AFC wildcard games are going to be incredible. This might be the best weekend for AFC wildcard. Like, the NFC is going to be terrible because it's going to be like Seattle against New Orleans, and then it's going to be like the Rams with a losing record, or the Commanders with a losing, somebody with a losing record, maybe 2 teams with a losing record are going to make the playoffs in the NFC. That's going to be boring. The AFC, that's going to be a fun weekend. And ultimately, my take, Joe Burrow, he is still a great quarterback. He is still a dark horse MVP candidate, in my opinion. I'm not going to put him up there at the top of the list, but I think he's a dark horse because we've seen him do it before. We've seen him play so well. Last year, he was number 3 in the league. Why can't he do it again? He's at 13 right now. Let's move on